Welcome to How to Shade Like a Pro. If you want to draw like this, or even this, you've come to the right place. Start by selecting three colors of the color that you want to draw: a light, a base, or a dark color. And of course, we'll also use the white and the black. Start by applying the base color across every area of your drawing. I like to leave the lightest area for last so I can get a nice light finish on it with the base color. Next, select your light color and be very generous on where you apply it. This should go over a majority of your drawing. We'll come back and hit it with the white color later on in this video, so you don't need to worry about that right now. Now we'll add the darker colors into this drawing. I like to kind of start with the darkest area and then kind of work my way towards the brighter spots. You can see I'm being pretty generous on where I put this darker color. It's okay if it overlaps with that base color, and it's definitely okay if it gets into that light area too. Now we're starting to add black. What's really difficult about the color black is that it is very, very harsh. It is difficult to get it to be lighter than when you apply it. So we want to be very careful and not to spread it too thickly onto kind of that lighter area and even where our base area will be. Now we're getting into adding that base color. I'm just blending in that light area and that dark area together. Again, being very generous. You kind of want all these colors to overlap. It just makes for a better, more cohesive drawing, and it'll blend better in our final stages. You can even see here I'm going over those darker areas with this base color. Really, this base color you want all over your drawing. It's going to be the base of what this drawing is going to look like in the end. Here I am now adding the whites, and I'm pressing pretty hard here because I want this white to kind of show through, but we added those green colors earlier because we also want a little bit of that green to show through. Now we're just on round 2 of adding that color in. I like to work from light to dark, so we're adding our second coat of that light color. And unlike that first round of adding color, you kind of want to start to dial in where you want that light color. So you can see I'm not going over that bright white spot in the middle because I want to keep that nice and white and bright. And I'm not going too far into that base layer either. I'm kind of just maintaining that area where I want that light color. Here I'm adding that base layer. Again, I'm trying to keep that nice and refined. I'm not going too far into that light area and not too far into that dark area. As you probably noticed, you're still seeing some of those white dots kind of shine through. That's okay. We'll finish that up in the final round here. Again, here I'm just adding that dark green. Again, trying to stay out of that base area. And I'm trying to stay out of that darkest area because I want to save that for a black. And the darker those darks are, the more contrast it'll have and the cleaner your drawing is going to look. So right here, I'm adding that black again, just trying to hit those darkest areas and not trying to get that black into that base layer because it is very harsh and it is very hard to kind of work its way out of it if you do happen to mess up or make any mistakes. Right now I'm starting to varnish, so I'm pressing down hard on my pencil. What this is doing is that it's flattening the paper and getting all those little white bumps out of our drawing. And here I'm going back to the whites and now back to the light, doing that exact same thing. I'm pushing down and you can notice that all these little speckled white dots are leaving our drawing. And that's because we're pushing them all, we're flattening that paper tooth and we're filling it all with color. Here I'm going with my base layer and then I'm going to hit it back with that light color. You really want to use your colors together. So I'm switching pretty quickly between pencils. I'm pushing down hard on that darker color, then I'm coming back with my base layer. And again, same example, I'm hitting it hard with that black color. And then I'm going to come back here with that dark green and refine that transition line to make sure it's soft and it's not a hard transition. And now just some finishing touches, adding a little shadow to the ball to give it a little bit more perspective and a little more realism. And we are done. What's interesting about drawing is there's many ways to combine colors, and here's just another way that might be helpful for you. So instead of using whites, you could substitute that for a different light color. In this case, I used yellow. And the same for black. You could substitute that for, let's say, a dark blue. The advantage of doing this is that it provides you with a lot more options on your colors, and it allows your colors to pop a little bit better. This is a great strategy to prevent that black from taking over your drawing. It is a harsh color, it can be hard to blend. So using that blue gives it a little bit of a softer touch and a little bit more of a realistic touch. Now that we're done with that drawing, here's just a quick look on how those two look against each other. Here's an example where I used those same principles on a cartoon drawing. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope to see you in the next one.